What is going on?
Guys, the sign and trade is not dead yet.
It's not dead? I thought it's dead.
Actually, no, it's not. It's not officially dead yet. Also, both of them. The Duncan Robinson one isn't finalized either.
That one, I think it got finalized.
Did it get finalized?
I saw the Pistons.
Was today the date? Today's like, isn't the 7th like the deadline for that shit? Or like
the Pistons tweeted they've officially acquired Duncan Robinson.
Okay, so the Duncan Robinson one.
Have the Kings tweeted they officially acquired Dennis Schroder? We do that intel while Chris is talking.
I will.
Yeah. So, from the last I saw, the Sacramento Kings have not finalized it yet and still opening it. So July 6th is when you can make it official. Yeah. You can make a signing official July 6th. Before then, you're just technically agreeing, but you don't necessarily have to make it official on July 6th.
They have not released
or announced
that they have officially signed Dennis
Schroder.
So
the big holdup, I assume, is the Malik Monk part of it, is that they want to dump Malik Monk in his contract, and they are not finding a particular suitor. The Pistons seem like they're not all the way disinterested in Malik Monk, but it sounds like they're just like, well, let me see if I can do better, type of thing.
And Chris, could you put that other clip in there? So Luke, I think it's
Yeah,
Luke, I think it's going to be like split in between that one and then this one he's about to put in.
Yep.
But yeah, the Malik Monk stuff, I'm not mad because like the Pistons, do they really want Malik Monk? Like
I want a 4.
I don't think they want Malik Monk. I think they want a 4, and I think they were looking for, or they're still looking for someone to kind of take the bait and either take Malik Monk to give them somebody or just get in there to give them a 4.
Reroute it.
We'll see what happens. But either way, they're going to get something in back for Dennis Schroder, whether it just be
a trade exception.
Are they though?
Trade exception and some cap space there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which you could use to bargain. Hey, we'll take this guy and give you a bunch of second-round picks just because we can fit him on the roster.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there.
I like the idea of Malik Monk, but like when you go and look at the numbers, he's kind of been like sliding off a little bit.
It's up and down. No, he had some great stretches though without De'Aaron Fox.
Streaky.
So he is very, very streaky, 100%. But he also had some great games of like high volume and efficiency. So I'm not all the way out on Malik Monk. It's just such a glaring hole that we need a 4. Even if it's not the stretch 4 that we want, ideally, like you just need another guy who can play power forward, because right now I think Asar can in certain stretches. You definitely don't want to do a too big lineup with Stu and Duran at any time. So to me, it's just such a glaring hole that I think they need, unless again the far-fetched Bobby Clipman's ready. But right now, it's very obvious that you need that hole. And I think they're just trying to patiently wait it out.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes you just need a hole. And
hopefully it's PJ Washington instead of shift guy. I would love PJ Washington. We went through that list of potential power forwards that were out there, and I think the kind of unanimous thing was like, we'll take any of those fucking guys. Like as a backup 4, that was a pretty good selection of players to choose from. I think Rui was my guy that I was like, I would take Rui because I think he's the best best shooter out of all of them. PJ Washington I would like a lot.
Obi
Toppin I would be fine with. Vanderbilt I would be fine with. They said they like Chris Boucher, so maybe.
Yes. I think you do both, though. I still think you could sign Chris Boucher
and trade for somebody.
Yeah,
I don't think you would.
The word also is that they do have their biannual exception still, because they've been operating as an over-the-cap team, which is $5.7 million. So as you're seeing with how dry the market is, you can actually probably get another rotational guy for $5.7 million, a veteran point guard that can be a steady hand, or something, some type of vet on the team.
Well, let me look at this. We'll do point guards, right? Because we already have.
If I may go back to Malik Monk stuff real quick, is I'm looking at his numbers. His best year, arguably, was with LeBron in them, and I feel like Cade's like this similar type of prototype.
Yeah,
kick it out to him so he could do his dirty work. So maybe you get that version of him with this team specifically, because not like the Sacramento Kings are a great team by any means or have a real playmaker.
Yeah.
You know,
Malcolm Brogdon still out there. Alec Burks still out there.
I would do Brogdon, even though
Seth Curry still out there.
Why are you looking at point guards?
Because I think we're gonna make a move for Josh Giddey still out there.
Technically, yeah, but Chicago's
he's restricted. Okay, Markelle Fultz, unrestricted free agent. Quentin Grimes restricted.
That's another one.
THT unrestricted free agent.
Right now on ESPN, Rob Harper Jr. is on the
Bones Highland unrestricted
free agent. Pistons
All
roster.
right, dude. Deep cut.
You hear me?
Ron Harper Jr. Yeah.
Why?
He is. He's the last guy on the roster.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, look, there's not a lot of options. That's why this trade isn't, or this signing isn't happened yet. It's because there's really nobody on the market that's enticing. Like, okay, sure, you want to buy into Brogdon. I'll do that for the 5.7 exception.
That's what I'm saying.
I would do that for that, but you also got to expect, like, all right, I'm getting 20 games out of this guy.
I'm looking at these guys as the last piece on your team because you already used that trade exception to add a power forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would be plenty okay with Malcolm Brogdon or Seth Curry.
Yeah. Seth
or Markelle Fultz, as like, honestly.
Yeah.
Markelle Fultz to come on, be the backup point guard with Karis LeVert out there.
Need that, though, with Ivy back. I want to get a 4.
But that's why this is after we get the 4, because you're still, like Chris said, you're still going to have that $5.6 million in exception that you could use to sign an extra veteran. And I still think they need, you lost 2 guards on the bench. You got one in Karis LeVert. I think you get another one just to shore up your bench there, and then you're good to go. Unless you truly trust Sasser, but I would take Fultz or Malcolm Brogdon or Seth Curry.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Chris Paul's still out there. Are you guys interested in that? I mean, he probably has his pick of the litter.
Chris Paul's not going to come here. Yeah, he's going to go to LA or something.
And do we want to do the Beal thing? Because to me,
Island, I wouldn't mind
Beal. I see him having his pick of the litter, and I don't see him picking us.
Yeah,
assuming he clears.
That was some up in the prep as well, because I saw some people tweeting about it. No, nothing officially.
Yeah. I mean, look,
I'm not here for that.
As a fifth guard, fine, sure, I don't care. I'm not excited about it, but I'm not like
Bradley Beal.
Yeah, like
no. I think he's not going to come here. No,
I don't. Yeah.
He's definitely
just
washed.
Come here, yeah.
He's going to go try to win a championship somewhere.
I feel like he's the reason the whole situation didn't work in.
Well,
Phoenix.
Yeah,
because he was like, "Fuck it, dude, I'm not leaving."
Yeah,
it'd be fucking.
Because they probably wanted to reroute Bradley Beal for a point guard.
Yeah,
to put with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
He controls where he goes right now, unless they buy him out.
Yeah,
which is smart by him.
Good, yeah, for sure.
Fuck you, pay me. Exactly, I ain't mad at that at all.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll talk some football, but first, tell us about the massage chair house, Easy.
Breaking news from James.
Breaking news!
Sacramento Kings beat reporter. According to a league source, the Kings are set to acquire Dennis Schroder using part of the $16.8 million TPE from Kevin Huerter trade. Deal should be completed the next day or so. Kings will acquire a future second. Detroit lands a trade exception. So no Malik Monk.
No Malik Monk.
Also, I was told you can't give more up than the player in a sign and trade. How are they landing a second? I guess it doesn't say who it's from. Sacramento lands a solid point guard option on a 3-year deal. 3rd year is partially guaranteed, according to a source. Detroit has a bunch of seconds and will now have a sizable TPE to work with. The Kings also retain their mid-level exception by using a TPE. Still work to do, but the salary situation is complicated.
I think that just speaks to a lot of the names that they wanted weren't available, but I don't see them not being available at the deadline. Like, I don't see.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't want Malik Monk.
Yeah, that's what it is, and I think they're looking at Obi Toppin, PJ Washington, and those guys are obvious trade candidates now. Those teams might be like, hold on, let's reapproach that as the season goes on. We don't necessarily need to make that move because obviously bringing in Cooper Flagg and with that loaded front court, PJ Washington's days are probably numbered, and him being an expiring contract, I could see that being something, hey, let's do this deal in February. Like, we don't necessarily need to do it now. Let's keep him now, and try to be good because the Mavs are shorthanded start the year. No Kyrie, so they're going to need all the firepower they can get.
Yeah.
So he didn't.
So you got your exception. You trade. It was a sign and trade. The Kings weren't willing to give up the guy the Pistons wanted, so they just took the money.
Or maybe the Pistons didn't want him.
Or maybe the Pistons didn't want him. And
where I'm stuck is I was told, and I looked it up too, that you can't trade anyone other than a player on a sign and trade. But somehow the Kings got another second-round pick.
Is that
was there
an
a third
apron
player
rule?
involved? Didn't
Is
you
that
say
an
Kevin
apron
Huerter
rule?
went to somebody, or
it's a TPE from a Kevin Huerter trade from last year. What'd you say, Chris?
Is it an apron rule though? Is it tied to a certain apron?
I can reread it if you like.
Reread it, yeah.
According to a league source, the Kings are set to acquire Dennis Schroder using part of the $16.8 million TPE from the Kevin Huerter trade. The deal should be completed within the next day or so. Kings will acquire a future second. Detroit lands a trade exception. I'm just ask Twitter. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like I know what the fuck's going on. I don't know.
I don't actually know that.
Like I said, it sounds like the Pistons are looking for a 4 and not Malik Monk, and the Kings weren't willing to give up anybody. They couldn't find a guy to play tango as the third party, and so they just took the trade exception. And now they'll look to add a piece from a team that's looking to clear some cap, and you want that 4, and you've got a bunch of second-round picks to go get it. So
yeah, and I mean, look, that trade exception, I know it gets laughed at because a lot of teams don't end up using the trade exception. It ends up just kind of being this, like, fool's gold to sell to the fans. I think I heard a stat. There was a team, I'm blanking on the team, but they had Toronto had 16 trade exceptions and used only 3. So, like, they rarely get used. But Trajan's shown his activity at the deadline. We all know the situation that the Pistons are in. The Pistons could be saving this too for a star power type of transaction. Like this could definitely help in there.
Relax.
A team like Utah. You know, I still think that Lauri Markkanen discussion happens more the deadline or the next offseason, and that's when the Pistons could be saving that trade exception for. So it doesn't necessarily have to just be a role player.
It's going to be a role player.
But, yeah, I would say it's more likely a role player than not. But this gives Trajan some flexibility, and I think that's what he's been about this entire summer.
Cardi